Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. So today we are back at Rover Evolution. We're going to upgrade the Rover some more through a time lapse. So let's get started. it's been a while since we did Rover Evolution, and I did some upgrades and touches on the rover itself, as you saw from the time lapse. And it's not a lot of upgrading here, but it was taking a lot of time to do all this because we needed to upgrade our welder, grinder, and the drills right here. So we are using the proficient versions of them. And yeah, welding it one by one, not the funnest thing to do. We should probably develop some kind of crane arm or something like that to do the welding. But we did add a significant amount of items here on the rover. And I'm a little bit on the fence about it because it does look quite terrible. So, not sure what I'm going to do with this rover. Not sure if I'm going to even continue the series, to be honest. But if you guys are enjoying the series, I'll keep it going. But if not, I might just turn it into a time-lapse series, if anything, and do some commentary at the very end, like this video, for future episodes. But yeah, the only thing I've done so far was to add the mods here and the solar panels. I added the solar panels, which they don't look that great adding it here, but I just want to charge up some batteries a little bit. I added speed mods to the refinery. I welded up both of the assemblers on this guy here, so we are set with having large grid items tacked on to the small grid rover. And initially I put in a whole bunch of small cargo containers for a large grid, and I remembered that's kind of cheesy, and I was planning to go all small grid except for the assembler and the refinery. So I took some of them out. I took 4 of them out, and right now I'm storing 2 cargo containers worth of stuff for now, and eventually I'll just convert it to the large cargo containers for small grid. But this rover is seemingly to becoming really tiny, and it's not exactly what I had in mind, to be honest. I think the next step is kind of make some kind of cockpit kind of situation, building it with a little bit of blocks, a little bit of windows. I have something in mind, but I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, so we'll see how that goes in the future. But yeah, for now, this is what we've added so far. We also added an O2 H2 generator here. We added the survival kit here. We already know about the connector over there that's holding up the whole refinery here. We also have back here, if you can see it, 2 batteries. And we could probably get in here in a really odd way, like so, I think. There we go. And here's our 2 batteries, and this is some empty space here based on the refinery that's on top of here. I mean, I could well grind down these blocks to get through, but I have that magnetic plate holding up the refinery as a backup. So those are the extra pieces of things we did so far with the rover. And we added another set of wheels. Okay, I need to find a way out. Okay. There you go. Added another set of wheels just to hold the weight, so we have an even amount of weight distribution back here. This thing drives still pretty well. I have the little helm here right now, and we could drive this pretty well. It's still heavy in the back, obviously, because it's holding large grid items. But as you see here, we can go pretty fast, stop, and it's not gonna like break or anything like that. It almost can, but it's not too bad. Unfortunately, it's not looking so great either. So there's the problem with this rover. I mean, if I could find a way to make the front look a little bit better and decent, then it is gonna end up kind of looking like a little bit of a brick. That's the other aspect of it. So we'll see how it goes. I might continue to design it, but again, it's gonna depend on how much you guys are enjoying the series or not. So if I'm seeing, I would say probably less than 80 likes, I might just discontinue this series because I have not a good idea of how to make this rover look good. If anything, might have to start over, so we'll see. We'll kind of see how that kind of goes. But like I said, this thing drives okay. It's just looking very terrible, and it's not exactly what I want it to look like. But it's limited because we're running with large grid refineries and assemblers in this case. So maybe I'll just use the mod to make everything smaller, and we'll fix up the rover from there. We'll see how it goes. But other than that, we have our drilling system here, which is still working fine. I was collecting a little bit more stone through this here, which was a hole we already drilled to get the cobalt. So I just put the drill system here, get the stone, and dump the ice. Eventually I picked up most of the ice. Of course, some of it probably vanished in a way. That worked out pretty well. The small rover attachment with the assembler and the refinery, this basic refinery and basic assembler, not sure exactly what happened to it, but it clanged out and blew up when I wasn't paying attention to it. So if you saw in the time lapse, I showed it after the aftermath of it, where it was on fire and everything like that. I think the whole thing lost batteries and the hinge decided to drop, and I think that's what caused it to kind of explode. So it's sitting right here, and that's why you see the little dent here. It is, or what, either here or here. It was probably sitting, I think maybe here. Something happened to it, exploded, and then threw it and flipped it all the way over here. That's what caused these kind of craters. Unfortunately, I didn't capture that through that time lapse. It would have been nice, but yeah, I honestly don't know what happened to it. I think it just, because it ran out of batteries, right? Pretty much the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure the hinge just decided to drop, and it's holding large grid items on there, so it probably just did some kind of clangy explosion kind of thing to it. But yeah, other than that, not much going on with this rover. Just adding those large grid items and trying to make it look a little better in the inside. So I was hoping to get more space here to work around with, but honestly, it's not even head space tall. Like my head is still, you know, kind of peeking up a little bit, so that is kind of like wasted space. So we might need to make this a little higher. I don't know. And then we did this little ramp system because we initially put a cryo chamber here, so we can sleep in it and everything like that. But I got rid of that for the O2 system, because I could put a vent and stuff like that here. Although we could use a small vent, so we could probably put another O2 generator, but flip it around the other way, and then we put the small vent here if we want to close it up to make it airtight. Which also is going to be a really tough thing to do to make this airtight. So especially the whole thing, we can make this bridge section airtight without any problems if we close things up, like start building it from here and out. That's gonna work out. But yeah, I probably will have to do a nice little cockpit section here, but not a really large rover to walk around in and operate in. You probably don't need much, to be honest, but in terms of like a mobile base, it's kind of tiny. So yeah, not sure what I really want to do with this, but I hope you guys did enjoy the time lapse. And if you do enjoy the series, make sure to like and subscribe. And like I said, if I get less than 80 likes, I probably will discontinue, maybe start over. I don't know. It's up in the air for now. But in terms of other videos, Ship Evolution will be back very soon. I just gotta kind of spend some time on it, sit around and wait for things to produce. And we should make that shell and battle ready armor for the ship soon, and it's gonna be all welded up and everything like that as well. But in the meantime, I'm gonna continue to work on some time lapses, especially the building the mountain base, which we did a really nice amount of digging. So now we just gotta continue to do some failing and designing in that sense. So look forward to that. So once again, if you enjoyed this series, don't forget to like, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.